it's one of the first things I actually noticed when it came to my decluttering journey is I stopped making purchases impulsively. I stopped just acting on impulse and spending and buying things without thinking. I actually thought through my purchases. I waited 24 hours before I bought that water bottle that was so popular that I saw on Instagram, or I waited before I bought a new pair of pants. It may not seem like decluttering or minimalism. It really is a good step in the right direction, because if you are consuming less, buying less things, then you're going to accumulate less. The whole point of decluttering is not just to get rid of excess, it's to get rid of the things that are holding us down. And if you're getting rid of things but still impulse buying and buying more and more, then it's going to be this endless cycle of you buying a bunch of things, throwing a bunch of things away, buying a bunch of things again. And so if you've noticed that you're buying less, you're shopping less impulsively, that's a sign you are a step closer in the right direction. And keep going. The next thing that I noticed for myself was that I was able to find things that I needed to use when I needed to use them. For example, if I needed to find items in my fridge, if I needed to find items in my pantry, if I needed to find my black denim shorts, if I needed to find my bathroom cleaner, if I needed to find my pair of tennis shoes, it was so easy to find things, because everything that I had now had a place. I knew where everything was at. And I very rarely lost things or didn't know where things were or misplaced them. I don't know if you guys have ever felt the frustration of not being able to find something when you really need it to finish a task. It's frustrating. So acknowledge this. The fact that you can get to everything, everything has a designated spot, is a sign of success. The third area that I noticed within myself, and the reason I continued with pursuing minimalism and decluttering, is my home just started working easier. Like everything just flowed. For example, when it came to cleaning, doing chores, making dinner, when it came to finding things, it all seemed easier. While it was once really challenging to clean my space because I had to move things around, move things to vacuum, move things to wipe down my counter, now I just wipe it down as I need to. I just vacuum when I can, and I don't have to move things around to vacuum. When it comes to making my favorite dish or making oatmeal, I can make my oatmeal. I know where my oatmeal is. I know where every item is, and it is very easy for me to grab it. It's just so much easier. Everything has its place, and everything just seems to flow and move and transition so much easier. The fourth item and sign that I noticed is that when I opened the door and came home, I could breathe. There was this like calmness and this like calm energy that like was just there, because I knew that when I opened the door, it wasn't going to be chaos. I knew that I no longer was going to open the door to shoes on the floor, to coats on the floor, to dirty dishes in the sink, to a dirty kitchen, a messy bedroom, a bed that was unmade. I was no longer going to have to search for things to make supper. It was like I could feel calm. I could truly open the door and relax when I came home. It was now a place of peace instead of a place of stress and chaos. So if you've noticed this, give yourself a pat on the back, because that's huge. If your home feels calmer than it did before, you are moving in the right direction. Congrats, and keep going. You got this. The fifth sign that you are on your way, that you're decluttering, you're working towards minimalism is when people come and visit your home, your apartment, your house, and they say, "How are you always so tidy?" While sometimes this question is a little bit annoying, I actually have kind of grown to love it. You know, it's so easy for us to be blinded by, or to kind of have the blinders on when it comes to clutter. But the fact that someone who comes to visit is able to kind of remind us, hey, your space looks really tidy, means that you've done a good job. And another big part of that, and why they say, how are you always so tidy, is because it's a lot easier for me to keep my place tidy when I have less stuff. I have less inventory. I have a lot less stuff to organize. I have a lot less stuff to maintain, to clean, to take care of, to sort through, to put in its place. I just have a lot less. So if someone mentions that your space is looking tidy, it's a sign that you're doing well. One of the last things that I noticed, number 6, is I just felt lighter. My body, my head, and I was more excited about life, excited about my intentions, my goals, the future, because I wasn't weighed down by guilt and stress and physical possessions and emotional possessions and toxic relationships and all of these things that I didn't want in my life because I'd decluttered them. I'd gotten rid of guilt, gotten rid of uncertainty, gotten rid of the things that weren't necessary and made time and space for the things that were. I was more intentional, more inspired, more driven, more motivated, and honestly, calmer. I was able to breathe in my space, and every space felt intentional because it was. And I had this confidence that I'd achieved something. While my journey towards minimalism is never really done, and while I will constantly be decluttering physical possessions, I have made so much progress. And if you've noticed some of these signs, you have too. If you've made it this far, don't give up. I promise it gets easier. I promise that you will get there. You will get to a place where your space will feel calmer. Your space will feel more light. Your space will feel more peaceful. But look for some of these signs. Acknowledge them. Acknowledge the fact that your space has felt a little calmer, that you have a little bit less clutter. Even if it's just one drawer, even if it's just one closet, you've made progress. Hope this video was inspiring to you and gave you some motivation on your decluttering journey, your minimalism journey, wherever you're at. Thank you all so much for your support. It's a beautiful day to simplify. Love y'all.